care what I'm talking about, if you want to see what I'm talking about, subscribe to my feed. If you want the customer to order, it should be a great big order now button. It should be very obvious on that page how they need to order and how they need to process through it. And then what is my target market? So if your target market is 22-year-old males that like to game, you're not going to design a pink site with, you know, buttons that say, come see my unicorn. You're going to think through your market, okay? And as a result, if you don't answer these questions, you end up dealing with these issues, where obviously he didn't get his market. And this is Silverback. It is, it's a great site, actually, and it is a usability testing software for Macs. This was their page for months, and it still is, but it was without these. Based on how they've done this, they want their consumer to download it and test it. They don't want them to necessarily purchase it, which I thought was interesting because it is usability software. I would assume you'd want them to purchase first, but based on their design, where you go from here down, this is the most prominent thing on the page next to the gorilla. They want you to download and try it, which I thought was interesting for a product, and it's really clear exactly what they want for you to do, which is why I used this example. And I left a lot of time for questions because last time I had so many questions we couldn't answer them. So does anybody have any questions?
Yes, one over there.
Yeah.
So I was slightly unsure. Did you say Silverback does want you to download it, and they don't necessarily want you to buy it?
Yeah, they don't seem to want you to buy it right off. Because if they had wanted you to purchase it, they would have made that button this color, the blue, because the weight of the color is causing you to hit here first.
Do you think they met their own usability? I mean, do you think they met the goals for usability with this page?
I think that the problem is I don't know what their goal was, but as a result, if their goal was to get them to download, yes. If their goal was to purchase, no, they didn't meet that. So, but I don't know what their goals were.
I would think that download is what they wanted you to do,
yeah.
Because that is far. I mean, when I go to a site like that, download is very, it's pain-free.
Yeah, it's exactly.
It's risk-free. It's pain-free. I know what I'm expecting. I don't have to pay any money. That's good for me.
Yeah.
The purchase scares me, and I don't like to look at it. So.
Which is possibly why they did it this way. That's my assumption based on this page that they met their goals. They wanted them to download. They didn't want them to purchase. And my guess, I have not downloaded it. I haven't used it. But my guess is once your days are up, they make it very easy for you to purchase it. That's my
Once you
guess.
feel comfortable first, and then you go back and buy it.
Before you buy it.
Exactly. And once you get started on, especially usability software, you don't want to change. It's kind of hard to change because you need to add code to your site and then switch it over. So if you've got a large site, it causes problems. So they probably want you to get started and then you can't get out of it. So pay $50.
Any other questions?
Come on, that's a correct one.
It is Seth Godin. Seth Godin. S-E-A-T-H. Seth Godin, which is G-O-D-I-N. He was here a couple months ago. He spoke to a meetup group, the Jelly Freelancers. Anybody heard of that? Anyone been on a meetup.com?
Yeah.
For fair tax.
Seth Godin was here for Jelly Freelancers, and he did a presentation on marketing to them. So.
He's not going to be back for a Free State social.
He's not going to be back for Free State. They thought he was going to, but he won't be back for Free State.
What are your thoughts? Most people have Flash, but what are your thoughts on using Flash as far as usability?
It's an extremely complicated question right now. I have never believed in Flash on the web because it takes too long to load on your site. It doesn't work on everyone's computer. If it's not working, and here's the real kicker. If someone has Flash 5.0, I don't know where we're at right now, but Flash 5.0 and your design requires 6.0, you're taking them away from your site to download something to make your site work. So you've lost them. Does that make sense? Unless that site's immaculate when they come back to it. So I do not agree with Flash. I agree with things like Cipher. I agree with using pieces of Flash in your website design, but I don't agree with using it as your design. And contrary to what a lot of people have been talking about, Flash is still not SEO friendly. So if you want people to come to your site, it's not a high suggestion, not for me anyway. But everyone has their own opinion.
What do you say you were using instead of that?
Cipher, which is, it's a program that uses pieces. So for instance, if I wanted SIFR, if I wanted this to be crooked on a site, you obviously can't do that in HTML unless you cut it and slice it and things like that. I can do it in Flash so that it's crooked, and Cipher, you can upload Cipher to your site and it will load it so that it will sit sideways. But if the customer doesn't have that enabled or they're not allowed to do that, it'll sit rectangular. So regardless, it's very clean degradation depending on what the consumer has on their computer, which that I'm all for. Why can't I never remember? Progressive enhancement on your site. So if you have great items on your site and the person has cutting edge technology on their computer, that's fantastic. Use progressive enhancement. If they're using IE6, don't design for it. Death to IE6. I'm all for that.
Question.
Yes.
Okay. Given the new sprawl for mobile web design, how do the usability factors from the web transfer into this mobile format?
The mobile format has a tendency to kind of mess up usability a little bit. Consumers on your phone, consumers actually, they found that consumers look at the bottom half of your screen instead of the top half of your screen, which is interesting. Unless they're sitting it sideways, which this one won't turn sideways, but then they'll look at the top left. So if they're holding it like this, they read it like a book and like a regular website, but if they're holding it like this, they look at the bottom half of the screen. So your design needs to kind of reflect that. So your most important things kind of need to be in the middle. Mobile is going to be a whole new idea and design and programming.
So would you create a whole separate set of pages so that when you go to the site on your device, it detects that you're a particular mobile device and it takes you over to this separate set of pages that are specifically designed for that?
I personally think that's better. There's a couple sites I was looking at today that have a mobile version. It's m.dot and then the name of their website. And it was very nice on the iPhone because it made it very simple. It took away the Flash and it gave me the information. So I went to Walmart.com, which has a mobile site, which is kind of strange because they're a cheap company. But they have a mobile site. And basically you have a search function, and you have a cart function, and you have a find a store function, and that's it. They took it all away. Now, that being said, a lot of sites are finding that consumers don't like that, or not all consumers like that. So they put a button in that says return to regular site. So you can get out of your mobile site, because for instance, we were on, what was that site? I was on Facebook, I think it was, and they don't give you the option to go to their non-mobile site, but they don't give you all the options you're looking for on the mobile site. I think they've added it since I found that problem, but it's because it doesn't make any sense. If I need the whole site, let me get to the whole site. So it's kind of a give it, but I personally believe in the mobile websites. And I think mobile is where it's going. With the introduction of the iPad and the introduction of all of because PC is looking to do just a normal notepad. Right now theirs are a little thicker, but they want to do it thinner. I don't know if anyone's read that yet. I think that our direction is going towards mobile, so that you do need to know and need to optimize your site and your applications for mobile development.
Are you talking about Microsoft's Courier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that looks like a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. It closes as a book. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's awesome. You write on it like a pen, and they bring up regular sites. So if you want to go into your browser, you write in the browser what you're looking for. So if I wanted to go to KCWEBPROS.com, I just write KCWEBPROS and it goes. So it's very cool. That's probably not going to be out for another 10 years because it's Microsoft.
Any other questions? Oh, back there.
Well, I